When I first dipped my toes into the world of online business, I was equally filled with parts of excitement and anxiety. The possibilities seemed endless, but so did the decisions I had to make. The most pressing one, finding the right niche. It felt like every online business guru was chanting the same mantra: find your niche and you'll find success. But the more I searched for that elusive perfect niche, the more overwhelmed and paralyzed I became. The concept of a niche was simple enough on the surface. Find a specific area or interest of expertise, target a particular audience, and build your business around it. But in practice, it felt like I was being asked to make a decision that would dictate my entire trajectory of my business and possibly my life. I didn't want to get it wrong, and that fear kept making the wrong choice and kept me stuck for a long time. Looking back now after the years of trial and error, I realized that finding the right niche isn't about discovering some hidden magical answer. It's about understanding yourself, your passions, and your strengths, and then aligning them with the needs of the market. It's a process that requires patience, self-reflection, and a willingness to experiment and learn along the way. I want to share my journey with you, not as a step-by-step guide, but as a personal story that may help you find your clarity in your path. Drowning in possibilities. When I first started exploring the idea of launching an online business, I was brimming with ideas. I had a wide range of interests: writing, designing, personal development, fitness, and more. Each one seemed like it could be a very viable niche, but that was the problem. I was interested in so many things that I couldn't figure out how to narrow it down. Every time I thought I had settled onto something, a new idea would pop up, and I'd start second guessing myself. I'd spend countless hours researching different niches, reading articles, watching videos, and analyzing trends. I made an endless list of potential niches, tried to weigh the pros and cons of each one. Should I choose something that I was more passionate about? Or should I go for that niche that seemingly was more profitable? Was I being too broad or too specific? These questions consumed me, and the more I thought about it, the more confused I became. I was paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice. What if I picked a niche that wasn't profitable? What if I got bored with it after a few months? What if I invested all this time and energy into something that ultimately failed? These fears kept me in a constant state of analysis paralysis, unable to move forward with any real conviction. Letting go of the perfect niche. After months of spinning my wheels, I reached a breaking point. I was feeling stuck, tired, and overwhelmed. I realized that I had been so focused on finding the perfect niche that I had lost sight of why I wanted to start an online business in the first place, which was to create something meaningful and aligned with values and passions. I decided to let go of the idea where the perfect niche was out there waiting for me and instead focus on taking action. The shift in mindset was liberating. I gave myself permission to explore and experiment without the pressure of having to get it right from the start. I stopped worrying about whether my niche was good enough, and I started thinking about what I actually enjoyed doing and where I saw an opportunity to help others, trying different approaches. With a more open and curious mindset, I began to explore different ideas. I didn't expect to find my niche overnight, and I was okay with that. Instead, I approached it as a journey of discovery, where each step would bring me closer to clarity. One of the first things I did was I started a blog. Writing had always been a passion of mine, and I figured it was a good way to share my thoughts and see what resonated with others. I wrote about a variety of topics: personal development, entrepreneurship, creativity, and more. I wasn't trying to be strategic. I was simply trying to write about what interested me. As I continued to write, I began to notice patterns. Certain topics seemed to resonate more with my audience, while others fell flat. I paid attention to the feedback I received, both in terms of comments and the metrics of engagement. Over time, it became clear that my readers were more interested in content that helped them improve their lives, whether it was tips on productivity, mindset shifts, or advice on starting their own business. Around the time I started experimenting with digital products, I created a few ebooks and online courses based on topics I was writing about. These weren't huge amounts of money, but they gave me valuable insight into what people were willing to pay for and how I could deliver value in a way that was scalable. The intersection of passion and value. Through the process of exploration, I began to see a clear picture of where my strengths, passions, and needs of my audience intersected. I realized that my niche wasn't just about a specific topic or industry. It was about the value I could offer by contributing my skills, experiences, and interests. For me, that niche turned out to be helping others navigate their own entrepreneurial journeys. I'd gone through the struggle of trying to find my niche, and I knew how overwhelming and confusing it would be. I wanted to create content and resources that would make processes easier for others, whether they would be just starting out or looking to pivot in their existing business. But finding that niche wasn't just about choosing a subject matter. It was about aligning my work with deeper values. I realized that what motivated me the most was the idea of helping others achieve their goals and live a more fulfilling life. By focusing on this mission, I found a niche that felt not only profitable, but also meaningful. Listening and involving. Once I had a clearer sense of my niche, I shifted my focus to building an audience around it. I knew that for my business to succeed, I needed to connect with people who shared interests and who could benefit from what I had to offer. I started by engaging more actively. I encouraged them to share their thoughts, questions, and challenges, and I made a point of responding to every message that I had received. This not only helped me build a stronger relationship with my audience, but also gave me invaluable insights into what they needed and wanted. As my audience grew, I continued to evolve my content and offerings based on their feedback. I created more targeted products and services that addressed specific pain points, and I refined my messaging to better communicate the value I could provide. I also started to collaborate with others and experts in my niche, which helped me reach a wider audience and offer more value. One of the most important lessons I learned during this phase was the power of listening. Your audience is one of your greatest assets, and their feedback can help you refine your niche and grow your business in ways you might not have considered. By staying open to their needs and being willing to adapt, I was able to create a business that was not only successful but deeply fulfilling. The importance of patience and persistence. Looking back, I can see that one of the biggest challenges in finding the right niche is having the patience and persistence to go through the process. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't get together as quickly as you'd like, or when you face setbacks along the way. But the truth is, building a successful online business takes time, and finding your niche is one part of the journey. There was a moment when I doubted myself, when I wondered if I'd ever figure this out, but I kept going even when I felt like I was making little progress. I reminded myself that every step forward, no matter how small, was bringing me closer to clarity and success, continuing to grow and evolve. Even now, I see my niche as something that will continue to evolve over time. The online business world is constantly changing, and so are the needs of my audience. I've learned that it's important to stay curious, to keep learning, and to be willing to adapt as new opportunities and challenges arise. I also know that my interests and passions will likely shift over time, and that's okay. Finding your niche isn't about locking yourself into one thing forever. It's about finding something that resonates with you now and allows you to create value for others. As long as you stay true to your values and continue to focus on helping others, you'll always have a place in the market. Trusting the process. If you're in the early stages of building your online business and feeling overwhelmed by the pressure of finding the perfect niche, if you want to know you're not alone, the journey to finding your niche is a deeply personal one, and it's okay if it takes time to figure it out. Remember that your niche isn't just about what you do, it's about who you are, what you value, and how you can make a difference in the lives of others. It's a process of discovery that requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to learn and grow along the way. My advice to you is to start where you are with what you know and allow yourself to explore and experiment. Don't be afraid to make mistakes and pivot if something isn't working. Trust that each step that you take is bringing you closer to clarity and success. And most importantly, stay true to yourself. Your niche should reflect your passions, strengths, and values, and it should allow you to create something that feels meaningful and fulfilling. When you find that sweet spot where your interests align and the needs of the market, you'll know you found your niche, and the journey will have been worth it.